Stop peeing at night tonight. 3-minute hack. Senior health tips. My name is Dr. Narjas Duma from the USA. Please support our channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing. Every doctor has a story that forever changes how they view health advice. Mine came from a patient's chart at 2 a.m., revealing a truth about fitness after 60 that most will never hear. It was the case of a physically fit man in his early 70s, an avid exerciser, who experienced a sudden cardiac event not during a moment of extreme exertion, but following what he considered a routine workout. His biomarkers and imaging told a story that conflicted with his healthy lifestyle, pointing instead to repeated subtle insults to his cardiovascular system from exercises he performed with perfect textbook form. This contradiction sent me down a path of reviewing decades of clinical data and emerging research, leading to a concerning pattern we must discuss. For years, we've been told exercise is the universal cure. But what if the very routines meant to strengthen us are secretly causing harm when performed past a certain age without adaptation? I've spent decades reviewing cases and data, and a pattern emerged that isn't discussed in mainstream fitness. The conversation is always about doing more, pushing harder, and beating personal records. Seldom does it address the natural, inevitable changes in vascular elasticity, blood pressure dynamics, and the heart's electrical conduction system that occur with age. Certain movements create silent stress on an aging heart. This isn't about being unfit. It's about physiological changes after 60 that turn trusted exercises into potential risks. New clinical research is confirming specific types of exertion force the cardiovascular system into dangerous territory, using advanced imaging to show real-time blood flow disruption and pressure spikes. In this video, we'll count down 5 common activities ranked by their hidden cardiac strain. The implications are that pervasive. First, let me ask, where are you joining us from today? Let's begin with the 5th most concerning activity. Number 5, aggressive treadmill incline training. While it feels productive, this method forces your heart into a punishing multi-front battle that it may not be equipped to win long-term. If you cannot maintain this breathing pattern, it's a sign the exercise is too demanding. Immediately switch to an inclined version against a counter or wall. This reduces the load and allows you to re-establish the breath-movement connection. The cardiac strain from improperly executed push-ups is significant. But our third entry impacts even more unsuspecting people in a group setting where competition overrides bodily signals. Number 3, high-resistance indoor cycling classes. The third most common source of cardiac strain is the intense spin class where resistance is cranked to maximum in a dark, loud, and emotionally charged environment. This modality has evolved from aerobic conditioning to extreme interval training, often guided by motivation that prioritizes mental grit over physiological feedback. Grinding at very low pedal speeds creates intense isometric stress, where sustained muscle contraction restricts blood flow to the working muscles themselves. This forces your heart to generate extreme pressure. Research recorded average blood pressures during these intervals at levels that would trigger emergency intervention in a clinical setting. Loud, pounding music and darkness are not just ambiance. They induce a primal fight-or-flight response, flooding your system with adrenaline and cortisol. The push through the pain and leave everything on the bike culture leads many to ignore critical warning signs like chest tightness, unusual radiating fatigue in the arms, or severe gasping breathlessness. The difference between exercise that heals and exercise that harms is often found in the pause, the moment you choose to listen to a warning signal rather than override it. Frequent attendees of such classes have shown increased arterial stiffness and elevated levels of cardiac enzymes like troponin, a marker for heart muscle damage. The heat and profuse sweating in packed studios lead to dehydration, which thickens blood, making it even harder to pump and exacerbating the strain. For safer cycling, Keep resistance at a level where you can maintain a fluid 70-90 RPMs. Never grind slowly below 60 RPMs for more than a few seconds. Let your perceived exertion and ability to breathe deeply guide you. Stay seated for the majority of the workout. Standing climbs should be brief, 30-second bursts. Hydrate thoroughly with electrolytes before, during, and after. Most importantly, stop immediately if you feel any chest discomfort, unusual pressure, or lightheadedness. These are signs of intelligent self-preservation. However, the damage from our next exercise is so common and its mechanism so subtle, doctors call it a silent epidemic, hiding in plain sight in gyms and living rooms everywhere. Number 2, crunches and sit-ups with neck pulling. The second most dangerous activity is the traditional abdominal crunch, specifically when people pull on their neck to complete the movement. This exercise is a cornerstone of poor day, but its execution is fundamentally flawed for most. The quest for a burn in the abdominal muscles leads to compromising the neck and, unknowingly, the vascular system running through it. Yanking your neck forward to lift your shoulders off the ground compresses the carotid arteries and jugular veins in the neck. Vascular imaging studies show this can cut blood flow to the brain by up to 60%. Your heart must then pump violently to overcome this self-induced bottleneck, causing a sudden, sharp spike in central arterial pressure. Furthermore, the repeated spinal flexion also creates huge spikes in intra-abdominal pressure, which acts like a hydraulic press, squeezing the heart and great vessels with each repetition. This 1-2 punch of vascular compression is uniquely stressful. Studies show that during sets of 50 or more sit-ups, a common volume pull, blood pressure can skyrocket and remain elevated for half an hour after you finish, meaning your system stays in a state of crisis long after the exercise stops. Breathing pattern combined with neck strain can overly stimulate the vagus nerve, potentially causing a sudden drop in heart rate and blood pressure, leading to fainting, a phenomenon seen in emergency rooms. Long-term, the repetitive trauma to the carotid arteries from flexion and compression is linked to increased plaque buildup, or atherosclerosis, in these critical vessels that supply the brain. You may be working your abs while inadvertently accelerating vascular aging in your neck. For a safer and more effective core workout, replace crunches entirely. Planks, side planks, their variations build stability without dangerous flexion. Exercises like dead bugs or bird dogs train core coordination and strength while protecting the spine and neck. If you feel you must do crunches, cross your hands on your chest, never behind your head. Keep sets to 15-20 reps with a controlled tempo, focusing on exhaling as you curl up and lowering slowly. The goal is quality of contraction, not quantity of reps. Now, prepare for the number 1 exercise that recent research links to more exercise-related cardiac events than any other, due to its chaotic demand on the entire cardiovascular system. Number 1, rapid high-speed burpees. The burpee is not 1 exercise, but 4. A squat, plank, a push-up, and a jump, strung together in rapid succession. It's this rapid transition between positions that creates chaos for blood pressure regulation. This rapid sequence creates cardiovascular whiplash. As you drop to the plank, blood rushes to your head. As you explosively jump up, blood suddenly drains downward. Blood pressure can swing from low to dangerously high in under 2 seconds, sending damaging pressure waves through your arteries. Research shows the heart's coordination can falter, with chambers working out of sync, reducing efficiency by up to 40%, while the organ is working triple time. It's like an engine revving wildly, but with the transmission slipping. This can cause a temporary stunning or dysfunction of the heart muscle. Emerging MRI studies have found evidence of microscopic scarring in regular, high-intensity burpee performers. This scarring is permanent. To modify, slow each burpee to at least 5 seconds. Step back into the plank 1 foot at a time instead of jumping. Omit the push-up if your heart rate is soaring. mid-sets to 5 with full, minute-long recovery between them. Your heart's limits aren't a challenge to overcome. They are biological boundaries to respect. If you're over 35 or have any cardiovascular risk factors, including high blood pressure, family history, or smoking, replace burpees entirely with safer segmented alternatives like step-ups combined with modified push-ups or mountain climbers. These provide similar metabolic training without the extreme pressure fluctuations. These 5 common exercises aren't inherently bad, but the way they're typically performed after a certain age invites silent, cumulative damage. The key is adapting intensity, mastering form, and, most importantly, listening to your body's signals instead of silencing them in pursuit of a fitness ideal. The goal of exercise after 60 should shift from breaking down the body to build it back stronger, towards supporting and preserving the incredible system you have. It's about stimulus, not stress, about challenge, not crisis. This perspective helps you train smarter and protect your long-term health. Please support our channel Lines of Thought by hitting the like button. It truly helps us reach others who need to hear this. Subscribe and turn on notifications for our latest research-based guides. Thank you for watching, and remember, the most intelligent workout is the one you can recover from and feel great doing tomorrow.